And what we'd like to move on now is towards the conclusion of the conference. And I'd request that each of the speakers would just give their concluding remarks for this conference. We'll start with Sheikh Asim.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Jazakumullah khair for conducting such a beautiful and informative gathering. And this is a sunnah, but it's a sunnah hasana that this masjid has been doing for the past years. And mashallah, it is astonishing how the crowd is growing year by year. And with the grace of Allah, it brings joy to the heart to see youngsters enthusiastic and ambitious and willing to stay for hours and hours to listen to the sheikhs and to learn knowledge and to attach themselves to their history, to their pride, to their heritage, which is Islam. This is what identifies them in this country, their belief, their religion, to know the Prophet ﷺ. And it goes without saying that if we hear things and we do not practice them, Allah will punish us for what we have heard. So we've heard how the Prophet ﷺ was and how he lived, and we have to apply this in our lives, with our neighbors, with our wives, with our parents, with our friends, with everyone we know. And we have to also be careful of doing anything that may jeopardize the reputation of Islam, because it is human nature. If you do well, they will attribute this to the country. But if you do something that is not good, they will attribute this to Islam. So always think twice before you do anything, because you're not jeopardizing your own reputation. You're jeopardizing the reputation of Islam, and Allah knows best.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulihil kareem. I'm not going to repeat what Sheikh Asim al-Hakim mentioned, but I fully agree with him. Alhamdulillah, there's no need to repeat. I just like to mention one thing, and that is concerning the volunteers. MashaAllah, the way they work together, the way they organize things, the way they coordinate, is one of the reasons that I came back this year. Brother Ihsan is here, subhanAllah. The impression that I left with was, MashaAllah, tabarakallah, I'm looking forward to come back next year. So I like how the brothers work. MashaAllah, all professionals, MashaAllah, the way they conduct themselves, the way they talk, the way they drive the speakers from one place to another, the way they try to entertain their needs and their requests, subhanAllah. May Allah reward them all. And I know they're not all on the podium, they're not on the stage, they're not sitting here, and you guys, people do not know them. And this is the best kind of deed that you may do. Khafiyyun taqi. Someone who's righteous and is hidden at the same time. Someone who's doing something for the sake of Allah and no one knows about him. People, as a matter of fact, they may abuse them. They may say, get out of my way, let me do this, let me park here, let me do this. But they are very patient with them. So I'd like to say, Jazakumullah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you with Firdaus al-A'la. Wa barakallahu fi juhudikum. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakumullah khair. Sheikh Abu Tawbah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I would like to say thank you, and again, thank you again. I really enjoyed my time here. I feel like I came to a place where it's a bunch of my relatives that I haven't seen in a long time. I felt quite at home and comfortable. I think you guys have like a gem here in Europe to have this type of community. I didn't meet anything but smiling, happy faces and genuine, love, and I felt that way. Tabarakallah, barakallah fikum. And if I have offended anybody by anything that I've said, I'd like you please to forgive me, because I didn't come here to offend anybody, and I don't, want to leave anybody with any bad taste or bad feelings. But jazakumullah khair, and wallahi, I love you all for the sake of Allah. And hopefully, inshallah, this won't be the last time that we see each other. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu Sheikh Ala.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah, amma ba'd. The first impression I got was the food was really good. The brothers were two generous men. I mean, we just went for lunch, and I believe they had so much food. So after I ate, I thought this was the meal. So no, this is the appetizer. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? So Allah musta'an. So first thing, I want you to, brothers and sisters, know for sure that the angels are surrounding you, inshallah. Mentioned by name. Subhanallah. If that's not enough, akhi and ukhti, what else is? In the best of combinations, and the best of mentioning, and the best of the surroundings and the environment. Imagine everyone, or those who helped and so on. On Judgment Day, could you imagine that every footstep that everybody came here to take on your right-hand side scale? Till you go home, one good deed is written, one bad deed is erased, and so on. Every one of this poor slave is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught something, you gain the knowledge, and ongoing inshallah. Look at the multitude of this MLM, true MLM, the multi-level marketing, not the one that says, buy this, buy my stuff. And no, this is the hasanat that ongoing, inshallah. This is, the Prophet Muhammad says, the best of deeds, Allah ta'ala. Just ongoing, right? So don't cut it off now. Keep it going, inshallah. So keep the drive alive. That's one thing. So keep the intentions there and keep the food coming. Make sure that the biryani with the green stuff. And other than that, wallahi, I mean, subhanallah, when I came first time to the masjid, and the one thing I shared to the brothers, I said, this masjid feels good. It had a good feeling, subhanallah. And that's exactly what it is. May Allah bless you all, inshallah. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He guided us in this dunya, to gather us with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu again in Jannah. Jazakumullah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum.
First thing, Ikhwani, in bringing this session to a close, is that my advice is that we bring it back to the square of the conference, its title itself, Moments with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is not a theory. We have to be an ummah who we go back to the blueprint. We go back to the blueprint. Taking this book that he revealed and also his practical sunnah and applying those two sources the way the companions applied them and understood them, especially in issues of our aqidah and issues of our ibadat, what we believe, our theology and our worship and other aspects of the religion. So my advice to all of you here is a masjid, this jam'iyah is called Ahlul Hadith. Ahlul Hadith, we all have to be Ahlul Hadith. Like Imam Abu Hanifa was Ahlul Hadith, as he said when he told his students, if the hadith is authentic, then it is my madhab. And that's our issue here. If the hadith is authentic, then that's what we're upon. And we understand that hadith the way the companions understood it. So we have to come back to the blueprint, to the square. And that square in this regard is as-Salafiyah, meaning the religion that those companions were on. Pattern our understanding and application of Islam on what the companions were upon. And part of what they were upon from the principles of a Salafiyah that I encourage all of you to buy into is the principle of connecting ourselves with and to the ulama, especially the major scholars of our time, the major scholars, as well as people of lesser degree in terms of knowledge. But we have to be connected to the ulama. Abdullah bin Mas'ud told the people, may Allah be pleased with him, لا تزال هذا الأمة بخير ما أتاهم العلم من أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلمائهم فإذا أتاهم العلم من أصاغرهم هلكوا. This ummah will always be on a good condition as long as knowledge that comes to them is the knowledge that comes from the companions and their ulama. The ulama of their time especially. And if the knowledge came from the youngsters, then there are going to be some problems. There are going to be some problems.